Looks like we got some new gifts today. All right, let's talk about what we got today. A few months back, we went to Smoky Mountain Jeep Invasion, and I visited with the Thor's Lightning group there. I purchased, let's get this opened up here. This was on some recommendation of several friends that had this system already. My very dear friends, Michelle and Robert in Kentucky, have this system, as well as several others that we ride with. So this is the Thor's Lightning 4-tire inflation system that I bought. And let me tell you, huge fan. This is a game changer, guys. I mean, I went from the regular standard single tire gauge that you hook up, pull the valve core out, psh, air down, whatever, right? Air down only. It's an air down tool. So I went with the Thor's Lightning system because it is a 4-tire system, and you can, have total control over all 4 tires at the same time. Whether you be inflating or deflating, it's a great piece of equipment. It's pretty rugged. It's built in the USA, which is something that I very dearly support. And I have been tickled to death with my Thor's Lightning system ever since the day I bought it. I have used it on so many things. It is unreal. Not just the Jeep. I use it on our personal truck. I use it on all my trailers. It's a great... It's just a great system also for balancing out the tire pressures. I mean, the OCD kicks in. I like to have all 4 tires exactly the same. What can I say? But the Thor's Lightning system is rugged. It's robust. I mean, everything on here is very, very high quality. I have had 0 issues with it. And believe it or not, I have used it way more than I actually thought I would. It's just so much more convenience. I bought the 4-tire system, right, for the JKU, the longer wheelbase, and it actually will work also on our F250, our 4-door Super Duty, although it's almost a little too short, but I can just pull it off. If they were a little bit longer, it would have been perfect. But it still works on the Super Duty, works on the trailers fine, and I love this thing. So let's talk about an addition to the Thor's Lightning 4-tire system that I already bought. And that would be this right here. Thor's is calling it the TOTALcontrol Hammer Manifold. Now, there are systems like this already out there on the market. Obviously, most everybody has seen these. But again, I was very happy with the Thor's Lightning, talking to them, just their personableness, the way they treat you. I did talk to another vendor that makes a similar product, and it's like, really, they were like, hey, we're so big, we don't have time for you. You're only one person. Okay, wrong person to say that to. These folks treat every single person they meet exactly like they should be treated. A very valuable customer. So this had not come out yet at the time of Smoky Mountain Jeep Invasion, but I did go ahead and order it at that time back in August. And today is November the 13th. So it did take a while to get it, but their communication was awesome. Again, they kept sending me little messages along the way about my order, the status of it, where they were at, trying to get these completely ready to go, boxed and shipped and everything like that. So here it is, the TOTALcontrol Hammer Manifold automatic tire deflator air compressor controller, also inflator But a few things it says is live flow rate. You can monitor your pressure in real time. You can deflate to a target pressure. You can inflate to a target pressure. And here is something very awesome. It is rechargeable onboard lithium battery. You do not have to change the batteries, and USB-C chargeable. So that's pretty awesome, because while it's not a fault, I have no issues with it. The original design here does take two AA's, and I'm really bad about being one of those that leaves batteries in something and they end up corroding and it can ruin whatever they're in. So I have been very dedicated with this system to take the batteries in and out every time I use it, which is not a problem to me. I have zero issues with that as well. But with the automatic hammer manifold system being lithium, it's going to be even awesome. So let's open it up. Shipping label, don't need that, we got it. Some literature that talks about it and everything like that, which, I mean, I already know how the system works, so we won't go over all of this necessarily. But again, Thor's Lightning, very happy. So right off the get-go, a very nice case. Yes, it is a little big, obviously. Let's get that out of the way. So we have this and this, basically. So what I foresee myself already doing right off the bat is I will probably do like a Pelican box like this and just set it up where all the hoses and the manifold system can all go in one box. But anyways, let's get this dude opened up. Boom. Very nice. And there it is. Man, that dude is pretty fancy looking. Yes, it is kind of big. I get it, but there's a lot going on in here, and it's very robust. Again, lithium battery. Has a hook on the back here to be able to hang it, which is pretty cool. You can just set that thing up like that. Same chucking as their air hose system takes, so we will just use the air hose out of our original 4-tire system, and instead of using the original manifold, we will now use the TOTALcontrol system. Very nice case. So yeah, that's why I say I'll probably do a Pelican box. I may even take this piece out of here and just recess it into the Pelican box. And like I say, it is USB-C rechargeable. Comes with a charging cable, but it's just standard USB-C, USB, but still very nice. So back over here, it's a really cool system. Like I say, what you'll do is you'll notice as soon as you power on, it says target pressure. Whether you be deflating, once it gets to 10 psi, it will automatically shut off. All right. Vice versa, if we are airing up, we would simply go in and set our target pressures and then hook the hose up to it and let her rip. When it gets to 30 psi, it will automatically shut off. So the cool thing about that is once you go around, you hook up all your hoses, you hook up your manifold, you set your target pressure down there. We normally run about 7 psi on the 40s with the bead locks. All we will have to do is hook the hoses up, hook all the tires up, walk away. Boom. Walk away, go on about our business, do what we're doing, chit chat, have fun, hang out, whatever. When we come back, as soon as it gets to 7 psi, it's going to shut off. All right. We will do some more follow-up, talk about it and everything, see how we like it, how it works. We'll probably try and do a real-time video. We'll set the 40s to, we normally run them at like 22 if we're just going to be on the highway with them, which we don't do much highway driving because they are stickies. However, we'll set them up to 22, and then we will do a full deflate down to our target pressure 7 psi in real time. We'll see exactly how long it takes. Probably going to take me a little bit to get it all figured out and everything like that, and then vice versa. Of course, airing back up will be totally based on whatever onboard air system you have, whether it be like an ARB. For me, I have the Viair compressor that I use. Mainly, not to get off subject of the Thor's Lightning stuff, but the reason that I use the Viair is because I actually bought it because it can go up to 120 pounds. Although it would take all day, but if it came down to it, like if we were traveling in cold weather and we did get a tire that was a little bit low, the Viair will go up to 120 pounds. So that's the reason why I use the Viair. It's not a very big air volume system, so I don't know how long it's going to take to go, say, from the 7 pounds back up to the 22, or when we have our dailies, the 37 BFGs on here, you know, if we're not going to be doing any kind of serious rock crawling, maybe just some overlanding adventures like what you saw here recently, then we'll run those down about 12. So same thing, we'll have to see how long it takes to get from our 34 daily PSI down to the 12, and then vice versa from the 12 back up. Again, that's not going to be dependent on the manifold, that's dependent on your air system, all right? This will work with any kind of regulated compressor, basically. So if your compressor has a built-in regulator where it gets to a certain PSI and it shuts off, it's fine, right? Because when this automatically shuts off, if you're non-regulated, right, your pressure is just going to keep building and building and building, and you could tear something up. So whether you have a power tank, which just works really awesome with these because it is so fast, right, but it's still regulated. You can adjust your regulator to say, like, you know, 40 pounds or whatever, hook it up, bam. I imagine it is quick on a power tank. I'll have to get with Josh and see how long we can do it with a power tank versus our Viair setup versus an ARB setup. We'll try that also on somebody else's rig. But anyways, I'm very tickled that it finally came in, and like I say, it is a pretty tough looking dude. It's pretty heavy. I mean, actually, and I do like the hook and everything on it where you can hang it, because that way we can just run our hoses out. I do have plans to do an onboard system with the Viair. I actually have a tank that we're going to mount up underneath the Jeep. There's a spot under here where it doesn't interfere with the axles or nothing. And then we will permanent mount our compressor. I've got an idea for like a roll bar mount over here with like our where our fire extinguisher is. I'm going to move our fire extinguisher up to here, and I have a roll bar mount that I've been kind of working on designing to mount my compressor permanently with just an on-off switch or just an automatic switch, so when like we crank the Jeep, we'll automatically have air in our tank. Especially if we go down the road later and we go to air lockers or something with tons, then that would work out really cool, and it would just make it a lot easier than having all these different bags and such. But anyway, there it is, the Thor's hammer manifold automatic tire deflator, although it is an inflator also. So we will get a little bit of real-time work history with this thing, and we'll see what it does. All right, so let's see how long it takes to actually deflate the tires. I've got the 37s on here right now. I really don't imagine that there'll be much time difference, honestly, between the 37s and the 40s to deflate. Maybe inflating is probably going to take significantly longer. And again, I think that's just about, you know, your air up system, basically. I mean, volume wise, stuff like that. So I don't know. Let's see. Like I say, we're going to do this in real time. So forgive me, it may take a few minutes to actually do this. And I really don't want to, you know, edit the video just to show like, oh yeah, it took, you know, X amount of time, because, well, we just really won't truly ever know, right? So let's go ahead and get all hooked up here. Again, just everything is just quick connect. It's actually it's a very well built, robust system. I've been, like I say, very, very happy with it so far. I'm still a newbie in it. As you can see, I've still got everything all wrapped up and nice and bundled and all that kind of fancy stuff. But you know, it happens. Like a new play toy, right? Now it seems like, you know, it may take like, oh, it takes so long to hook it all up, really and truly, but no, it really doesn't. Anyway, let me get these hooked up to the tires. I'll be right back. Like, we're gonna have to go. Oh, I got more. Thought it was going to be too short with it hung over the tailgate right there, but it's not. And once we hook up all 4 tires anyways, since it is a central manifolding system, the pressures are just going to balance. So I'll clip on the front one here, hop back over to your guys' view so we can get the other 2 hooked up right quick. And like I say, these quick connects, man, they're really robust. You know, I've used them a lot so far and haven't had not a single issue out of them. One more. So yeah, I mean, it takes a couple of minutes here to kind of get everything strode out. I mean, if I didn't have it all, you know, sitting in the bags and stuff like that, it was just like in a central location, it wouldn't be so bad. All right, so I'll grab. Now let's just grab you right here. We'll take you along for the ride and get you up close. All right, so 31.8 pounds. We're going to set our target. Let's see if we can get down here to, it defaults at 10, but I don't run the 37s. Well, I have. Anyway, I don't run the 37s that low. So we're going to go from the 31.8, which I had them set at 32. And so all 4 tires right now are balanced, right? Because we got both sides connected here. So like I let a little extra out of one, well, they're just going to rebalance each other. So 31.8 pounds. So we're going to go down to a target pressure of 12 pounds. Let's see how long it takes. Might be time to, whoops, why'd we shut off? Oh, okay. I'm learning this, first time I've ever used it. So I'm assuming it's going to let some out and then it's going to recheck its target pressure. We'll see. My first time using it, so I don't know. Time to grab some snacks, some chips maybe. I mean, it is 4 37-inch tires, right? So, I mean, I wouldn't imagine it would go like instantaneous, but it seems to be doing pretty good. I guess the main cool thing is to kind of set it and forget it, right? You don't have to stand there and watch each individual tire. Do I have this thing all the way open too? Yeah, okay. Making sure I had it pushed all the way up. It's actually labeled. It's got 2 arrows that says open to push up. So since I run 32 in the 37s, I only run 22 in the 40s. I think it would still take roughly about the same amount of time. I mean, the 40s do hold more air by volume, but at a lower pressure. So that's pretty cool, the logic in it. It lets so much out and then it automatically stops, reevaluates the pressure, and then it will start again. Again, I know it's taken a while. I just want to do this in real time. That way there's not like, oh, it took X amount of time. You're actually seeing exactly how long it took to go from basically 32. It read 31.8 pounds. So from the 32 down to my 12-pound target pressure. Of course, the pressure is getting lower, so it is getting a little slower. And like we talked about earlier, you know, rechargeable, so there's no battery. I mean, it has a battery in there, obviously, a lithium battery though, so you know, no worries about corrosion or anything like that. Rechargeable. It does say in the instructions that if you don't use it for like 3 months at a time, it just says to simply recharge it once every 3 months. Let's see how it works. I'm real curious because it showed a lower target pressure than what it's reading on the screen. I'm sorry, a lower balance pressure than what it's reading on the screen. So I'm just curious to see if it's going to be actually off or is it really going to stop at the 12 pounds. Getting close. So I'm curious if when it shuts off, if the tires are actually going to be lower than the 12 pounds. So I may have to learn, you know, like an offset basically. I don't know how long it's been, really, what, 2.5 minutes or so, maybe 3 minutes. There you go. It shut off at exactly 12 pounds. I do notice that the battery indicator has gone down 1 bar, but I did not charge it when I first got it. So anyway, there it is. That's how long it took to deflate. Not too bad. All right. So we're at 12 pounds. So let's go the other way now, and we will set our target pressure back at 32. Yeah, error because it's trying to air up and it can't. So let me close that back off. We'll reset it. So we're reading 12.1 pounds. Our target pressure is 32 pounds right now. Let me get the air hose hooked up right quick, and then we'll go the opposite direction just to show you guys how that pans out. So I'll be right back. Let me grab my air hose right here out of the garage, and we'll see how long it takes to go back to 32. I got the adapter on here right now. So while waiting for my air compressor to fill back up. Anyway, I run these really large air adapters for the motorhome. I have an air over hydraulic jack, and I have a 1-inch impact and stuff for the lugs. Anyway, I just have one of the quick connect fittings right here. All right, so we are going to pause here for just a minute because it is going to take just a couple of minutes to get my air compressor aired back up. I got a small leak in the I got a small leak in the drain valve, and I just let it drain kind of all the time. But anyway, we will be right back. We'll get this thing aired up right quick, and then we'll go back to demonstrating this GIZMO. Okay, so I've got our air compressor filled up. We're going to go ahead and power back on. I'm going to set our target pressure back to 32 pounds. All right, before we get started, let's talk about something first, though. These results obviously are going to be misconstrued for time to air back up, right? Because it's based on volume, right? And I have a lot of volume there. So the only thing that I could do to help bring it down a little bit was I set my regulator way down to like 60 pounds, right? I don't know what ARBs and all that stuff do. Again, my Viair does 120. So I know with a power tank that it would be regulated. You could just set your regulator at like 60 pounds or whatever. I don't know. But anyways, so it's going to misconstrue the air up results a little bit. But 60 pounds set on the regulator, still holding 12. My target is 32. And away we go. I could have set my regulator obviously up, 90 pounds, and it would go much faster, obviously. But I wanted to give a little bit more of real world air up time based on like a low volume at a lower pressure. Of course, my compressor just kicked back on already, but and I don't know if you'll be able to hear it, but it will close the valve here in a minute and recheck the pressure. We'll see if you can hear that or not. Like I say, the cool thing is, right, we're doing all 4 tires at the same time. So with a power tank, you know, again, filling the tires back up, I don't know. I think inflating may go faster, honestly, single tire with a power tank. Maybe, I don't know. I don't own one. Just my dealings with using one before. Anyway, the valve just shut. It's kind of quiet, but I'm still very happy with the system. I think the deflate side of it is definitely the bee's knees versus a 1 tire system. It seems like an eternity to me, but looking at the counter on my phone, it's only been a little over 2 minutes. I suspect also that my regulated pressure on the compressor has probably come down some also, so we may be putting it in there pretty slow. Just fine, because it would still be no different than whether I was using my Vi-Air. The one thing, again, to remind you is you have to have a regulated supply system, right? Your compressor has to have the ability to shut off automatically. And again, like a power tank being regulated, fine. My Vi-Air is regulated at 130 pounds. And then, of course, my air compressor in the garage obviously is regulated. So that's the only thing you got to really keep in mind. It has to be a regulated air supply. You can't have a compressor that's just going to keep building and building and building, because once this valve shuts, the air supply has to be able to, you know, self-regulate and shut itself off also. There it is, 32 pounds. Took roughly, I think, a little over 3 minutes, and it just shut off. So there it is, guys. I mean, I'm happy with it. I am totally tickled with the system. I think it went fast enough to be happy. We are fixing to take off on a trip from Houston to Salt Lake and then over to Vegas. So again, the 37s are on the Jeep right now, not the 40-inch stickies. Later down the road, when we go back to the 40s, we got a little off-road trip coming up, hopefully, maybe. But once we go back to the 40s, we'll do the same thing again, just to compare the deflate time. Again, I don't think it's going to be much difference because of the lower pressure, but airing them back up might take a bit longer on the 40s. But the tires look great. Just looking at them, I mean, you get kind of used to the way they're supposed to be. Don't forget, you need to unhook all your air chucks off the tires first before you unplug them off the manifold. Otherwise, you will start letting air out right off the get-go. And they are quick disconnect, so you just pull back the chuck. See if I do it one-handed. Nope. There we go. Anyway, it's just a quick disconnect chuck, but they do fit really tight. So that's it for the Thor's Lightning automatic inflator deflator. This would really be easier with 2 hands, I'm telling you. There we go. Okay, I got it. Anyway, there it is. Thor's Lightning, TOTALcontrol, hammer manifold, automatic tire deflator / inflator, air compressor controller. Super happy with it. Awesome. This thing is a little bit pricey. It was, or I think it is listed at $199 online. I did catch it on a pre-order sale, so it was discounted, and well, I had a discount code also that we applied, so I ended up paying $169.99 for the unit. And honestly, now I don't even remember how much the 4-tire system was. Like I say, I bought it at Smoky Mountain Jeep Invasion. Also, it was on sale there for the Jeep Invasion, and I had a discount code there as well. So we actually got a pretty good deal on the 4-tire system as well. And to just say again, not to be wordy here, I did talk to some other manufacturers. You guys know who they are. They build a system just like this, okay? They just weren't customer based as Thor's Lightning is. These people right here, I think because they're not a mega company out there, right? They're real personable. They want to sit there and talk to you about your product, your vehicle, what you do with it. They're super happy about that, and I'm super happy with the Thor's Lightning system. So we will see you guys out there on the road somewhere soon, and we'll do a long-term review of it about 6 months from now. We'll see what happens. Till then, guys, adios, vaya con Dios, all of that good stuff. Later, somewhere, someday on the trails.